Hey everybody, Kieran Murray here again from the IgniteU studios, which means I'm sitting here in my dining room table at my house. And we are here for another installment of promoting one of our members. We're here with one of my favorite folks on the entire planet, I've known for a while, Kern Dillard. Before we get to that interview, I'm going to tell you a little bit about IgniteU in case you don't know what we do. So we are a networking group located here in Pierce County. We have members coming from the greater Pierce County area, people coming from Thurston County, Kitsap County, King County, and we have two networking events every week, every Friday morning from 7:30 to 9, every Tuesday for lunch from 11:30 to 1 at the Great American Casino in Lakewood. We now have about close to 500 members, and our events will normally have anywhere from 80 to 130, 140 people. So if you're looking to connect and do a ton of networking and get the word out about your business, learn about other people's business, find people that are going to share their your business with their networks. It's a great place to be. So we're looking forward to having you there sometime. Now let's get on with the interview. I'm going to bring on my guest tonight. It is Mr. Kern Dillard from Kerns Complete Automotive. Hello, my friend.
Hey, Kieran. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic. Popped your name up there. So you are at your home over on Spanaway Lake right now, I believe.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
The technology works. We're all here together, so I'm glad we're all here. So let's do something first before we get to how cool Kerns Automotive is. Let's talk about Kern in the younger days. So tell me where did you grow up? How did you get into the car business? Tell me about your kids. I know you're going to want to tell me all about the kids real fast because you got some wonderful kids doing very cool things. So tell me that cool stuff about Kern, what you like to do for fun. I know you love fishing, all that good stuff. And then we'll get on to Kerns Complete Automotive. So tell everyone a little bit about you, Kern.
A little bit about me. Well, I was born out in Seattle. My dad was a student at UW at the time I was born. So he had a deal on the UW hospital. So I was born a Husky. And that's about the only affiliation I have with that school. So grew up, Dad spent some time in Los Angeles area, and then we were in Denver for a while. And I call home Sunnyvale, California, the Bay Area. Grew up around there and got into cars there and learned a lot. Started in the new car dealerships in California. So came up here to visit my parents who had moved back home and found there was a lot of opportunity in the new car business, in the car dealerships up in this area, and decided to pack up and move this way. And we've been here ever since. That was about 30 years ago.
I was just going to ask how long ago was that? So 30 years ago, and now you've raised. I don't know if you had your kids when you were in California, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah. They were both born in Los Gatos, California. So
tell me about your kids now, because I know every time I'm talking to you, you say all these nice things about your kids and everything they're doing. So tell me about your kids, and I know you got grandkids.
So something about being proud of your kids and how successful they are, and you just see them take off, and it feels good. You know, when I'm struggling a little bit and I look at my kids and I just say, wow, that's awesome. Just so proud of those guys. Son is in Richland, Washington.
Wasn't he up in Bellevue?
He was working in Bellevue and had a house in Maltby and rehabbed the house and sold it and came out with a lot of cash, and they went and paid cash for a house in Richland and doing really, really well.
That's awesome. When did he move? How long ago did he move?
In January.
Wow, awesome.
December, January time.
Car business in Richland?
He's not in. He's painting at a body shop there, and working enough to take care of everything. But spent a lot of time this summer with the family, and he's taking them on a long trailer trip and went down south and drove down the coast to Disneyland, spent about a month with his family. So it's pretty cool to see that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I know you have a daughter in California.
Yes. Daughter in Studio City. Her husband's in the film industry doing crazy stuff down there. So it's good to she would like to be in a bigger place away from the big city and stuff, but we've got a grandson down there, and she's kind of takes care of the kids and has a lot of fun down there. So they're active all the time. Missed what you said there.
How many grandkids do you have?
I have 4. My son has 3, and my daughter has 1.
I love it. So tell everyone something about you that you just totally love doing. Maybe one of your favorite things in the world. One of your hobbies. What do you love doing?
Big hobby right now is fishing. Just about any time I can get away, I'll spend a few hours throwing a line in the water. Usually, well, that's where you'll find me a lot of times.
Do you have a favorite place you like to go fishing?
Up until this year, it was the Cowlitz River, but up around Barrier Dam and Blue Creek and some of those places. But this year it hasn't been so productive. So just kind of searching out new places. Been down to the Bonneville Dam a few times now, so on the Columbia.
So if someone calls you up and asks you if you want to go fishing, there's a good chance that you're going to head out, right?
There's a good chance I'd probably be there.
I love it. Matter of fact, let's see, Sherry's saying, I want to go fishing. You're not going fishing, Sherry. You got work to do, right?
All right, Sherry.
He wants to go fishing.
It is business expense, you know.
So let's do this. Let's flip it because let's talk about Kern's Complete Automotive. I'm going to put that up on the screen so people can see it. This is where the magic happens, right? At Kern's Complete Automotive. Tell us how long you've been in that business, how you got into that business, and all the services that you provide.
Okay. Well, that's kind of a little bit of a story, but I guess we got a few minutes. Started in 1999. I was working in a new car dealer, and we're kind of isolated from the customers as a technician in the back, and then you have the service writer up front. And there's really no interaction, but saw a lot of people not treated very well, but their cars were kind of taken care of just enough to get them out of warranty. So what I did is I thought, man, I could do better than that. We can take care of the people that are driving the cars and take care of their needs and help them get the best value out of the vehicle, not just get them out of warranty so that they're ready to buy another car. So with that in mind, and jumped out of that business and got a job offer at a transmission shop. So I was doing wholesale transmission building and taking care of that for another shop, and had a few things go on in that shop and decided it wasn't the place for me to be. So I had a 2-year plan to learn the aftermarket world and jump into business after I learned a little bit. After a few months, I couldn't take that business anymore and the way they were treating people and the way everything was going down, and decided to move on. Picked up a business license on the way home, stopped by another transmission shop, picked up a couple transmissions, took them home, rebuilt them in the night, brought them back, and I started my wholesale business like that. So pretty humble start, but we've grown a little bit since then. Moved out of my garage and into this place on Canyon Road, and been there for almost 19 years now. So.
Wow, you've been in that location for 19 years on Canyon Road that I come to?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So tell us, what services do you provide? What do you, and then we'll talk about what you don't provide, but what do you provide?
Well, we do provide a positive environment for you to get your car taken care of. Want to make sure that you understand what you're getting when we sell it to you. So there's a lot of things that we do in the business, say changing fluids, that you don't quite understand, or as you drive away, you don't know whether we did it or not. The car doesn't feel any different, doesn't drive any different, but you trust that your technician or your people have taken care of your car. So we do that and build that trust up front, help you understand what we're doing, why we're doing it. We do everything from oil changes and tire rotations, brakes, some front end work, engines, repairs, all of the repairs that you would normally take it to a dealership for. I started off in the transmission repair business, and then we kind of morphed into a full service auto shop, auto repair, and doing everything, which was my intention to begin with. So everything from transmissions to taillights, we've got you covered.
You're handling basically everything except if someone gets into an accident, you don't do auto collision, you don't do body work.
Collision repair, I'd send that to another one of our members, Mr. Kevin House. He's a good friend and does a great business over there on. So.
Nice. So what's the most common thing that you see that comes through your shop that you're working on?
Common is probably the biggest thing that we do is brakes, probably, as far as a maintenance item, common item. We see a lot of check engine light and maintenance required lights that come up. We can, test and diagnose and repair most of those things. Some of it gets to be, computer related. Some of it's hardware related, and we can deal with pretty much all of that.
And how often? So I know that you've got your office there, so you're working on marketing, you're working on sales, you're working on everything. How often are you also then in the shop actually working on cars yourself?
Occasionally. Okay. I like to do that. It kind of bugs my guys a little bit that I'm out there so much, but I still like touching cars, so I'm out there.
You know why it bugs them is because you pick all the easy jobs and you still make all of them. You make all of them do the hard jobs, right?
That could be it. That could be it.
There's the shop take some of the hard jobs, and you don't take any of those.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough, man. You guys got it. It's amazing what technology and what they can come up with as far as solutions to problems that you might have with your cars. It's when I was working in it 8 hours a day, every day, I thought I was cutting edge, and I go out there now and I'm just a little bit lost watching, Darius, my lead tech out there. He's a phenomenal guy, but he's up to date all the time with what's currently happening in the software and the issues that we're coming across in these cars. It's also emission certified, so we get kind of ramp up at the end of the month with all the failed emissions. So,
nice. So let me ask you, tell me if this is true, because it seems like every time I come in there, whether it's like for an oil change or anything else, that you're also doing some sort of a check on everything else to make sure everything's working. Do you do a check on things every time if someone brings a car in for an oil change? What all are you doing safety feature checks on that as well, or exactly how does that work?
We've got about a 63-point inspection that we go through every time a car's in the shop. So we're taking care of. It starts off with a road test. So a little bit unusual that I've asked my guys to road test the car before we service it, so that we can feel if there's any pulsations in the brakes or the steering wheel's off. Those are the kind of things you don't get just pulling it out of the parking lot into the stall. So it's good to. And I see Phil Norling. Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. You better pop into IgniteU one day. So so we start off with a road test and get a good feel for it. We've got our certified guys that are going out and driving it, making sure that everything feels right. Or if we've noticed something on a road test, we'll pay a little more attention to that when we have it in the shop. But then under the hood and around the car, all the lights get checked, brakes and safety items. We do check those, all the fluids and fluid levels and, safety, anything that can keep you from being safe on the road or maybe not starting the next day. We'll check the battery as well. So.
Nice. Yeah, it just seems like every time I come in there that you're making sure when I leave that everything is good to go. And so I can speak from experience because I've been taking vehicles into Kerns for, I don't even know exactly how many years, but
I think.
Yeah, he always takes care of everything. He's honest, he's reliable, he's dependable. He goes above and beyond. And what I've found over the course of the years, because we built the personal relationship, is he does things that are out of the norm for me, that I'm always kind of like, well, do you do that for everybody? And it turns out he does. He takes care of everyone, but I think he's doing special things for me, and that's just how Kern does it. Hey, Kern, Debbie wants to know, where is your business? Do you have an address?
We're on Canyon Road in South Hill of Puyallup. So the address is 13716 Canyon Road East. And we're right on the street there.
Right off. I remember one time my son was driving by, and you had a flashing banner out there that said, "You and Sherry Murray, you rock." And he saw that sign, and he had to drive back around and look at it and say, "What was that? Was that my dad?" So we'll just put up, there's the address right there, 13716 Canyon Road. Sherry just put that up for us. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate it. Let's switch gears, and let's talk about IgniteU. You've been a member since the beginning. Since the inception. You were probably you were a member before we had IgniteU. You were a member of our coffee club. Then you joined us for IgniteU. So tell us what it is about IgniteU that works for you, because I know you've had great results. What is it that works for you? Why do you? I mean, you show up every week, sometimes to both meetings. Now you've actually got your sister that represents you as well. Cammie's there; she's coming to meetings. Yes. What is it about IgniteU that's working for you?
Creating relationships with the folks that are there, and just there's so many people that are there helping each other develop businesses, and we've got other car guys in the group. We've got several different groups of people that would normally be a competitive group, but we're all helping each other out. We're all referring business back and forth, and I really like that about it. I like that I can go in there and say hi to Karen and Jim Margison. Just about every time I'm there, they're there, and it's great to see other quality-minded, helpful people that I wouldn't remind if I was in a jam and I couldn't get a car in the shop, I'd send them straight to those guys. So nice. It's not a competitive environment. It's a helpful environment where we're all working together to grow business.
Nice. Tell me about the results that you've gotten. You've been with us for a number of years, but I know you've tracked it and you do a good job of tracking. You might not have those numbers at your fingertips, but I know you have a pretty good idea. What have you seen for your business in the last, say, 2 or 3 years?
In the last couple of years, there's probably $60,000 to $80,000 worth of sales directly from the group. And this year, I think I've done even more. I haven't really tracked it. I'm tracking it, but I haven't pulled those numbers out. I was thinking about doing that this week and just got busy.
So you're saying, say, if it was like 60 to 80,000 in the last 2 years combined?
Yes.
And so let me. Do you have a free membership right now, or are you?
Yes, we've been.
How long have you had a free membership?
Several years.
So
probably 3 years.
So
it took me a while on the uptake there. So
I got to get this straight. So you're telling me that you come to the network group IgniteU, and you don't pay for it, but you've been able to put out $60,000 to $80,000 in revenue. Maybe more, because you're not tracking as well this month. You haven't looked, or this year that you haven't looked at it. Am I getting that right?
That's right, Karen. You've put something together that's really working for me specifically, but for a lot of other people in the room. So I'm a happy, super satisfied. We probably shouldn't tell them. Ha ha. Thanks, Angie.
I was chatting with Angie Whitten last night, and she was telling me her story of the same thing. And she has a free membership, and she just pulls a ton of business out, and I love that. And until people actually tell me that, sometimes I don't realize it. So when you told me that, I was actually surprised, and so it blows me away to hear people say, I don't pay for a membership, and so there's not many networking groups or referral groups around where you can go for free. Right. Not many, right? and then been able to, in the return, get a ton of business out, but you've been able to accomplish just that. So let me ask you this one, because this is important. You're getting a ton of business out of it.
Right.
You don't have to pay for it. What is the secret to success? Tell me, this is for the people who are, say, maybe IgniteU members now, or maybe there's business owners or managers who are thinking about joining. What's the secret to success to having those kind of results and not having to pay for it?
For me, it's being me, stepping into helping somebody. I always go with, I think I told you this in the car one time, is there's kind of three things that we're going for. One is I'm looking to give something, to drop something in the room, to give something to somebody, whether it's something's out of place and I want to help you out, or I want to just give. I want to meet somebody new that I haven't met before, and take something away. So that's my thing, is I'm going there with a little bit of an agenda. So we want to give, we want to take, and we want to make sure we made the place better. So
when you go, you have things in mind that you want to accomplish while you're there.
Right. And there's a few times when I get there and I don't. I'm flat, man. And those are the times when I'm receiving a bunch from other people just by being there.
I love that.
Kind of a pick me up.
Let me ask you this: how often do you show up?
Mostly twice a week. There's times when I miss one of the weekly things, but it's been a long time since I missed 2 in a week.
So do you think that's a key to your success too? Is that you're showing up all the time?
They're showing up, and just you get to know people that way. You remember a few names, and sometimes you introduce yourself 3 or 4 times, and they're brand new each time. But sorry if I don't always remember your name.
So and the other thing about showing up all the time is you're able to learn about other businesses, other members. Let me ask you this one, and I know you probably don't know this one off the top of your head because you're not going to track these numbers, but how many referrals, how often do you refer IgniteU members to other people in your network that are either in IgniteU or outside of IgniteU? How often are you referring IgniteU members?
As far as a number goes, I would say at least once a week. I offer somebody a business card or try to make a connection at least once a week.
Nice.
Usually it's from somebody outside the group, or trying to refer somebody to the group. I know there's a lot of folks in business that come and see me, and we chat for a minute and ask them how they're marketing and how they're growing their business, and whether it's referral or word of mouth, using the mail, or
love
so.
It. And for people that don't understand, this is a way that we're actually marketing business. We're marketing for IgniteU. We're marketing for Kerns Complete Automotive. We're doing this interview that's going to go. It's live out into the Facebook world. This is one of the things that you get when you're an IgniteU member. It's something we just started last week, and so we thought, you know what, this is a great way for us to showcase our members and people that are doing great things. And Kern's one of those folks. So let's wrap it up with this one. You just talked about other business owners that are not members yet. So for other business owners who aren't members yet, what's your advice regarding IgniteU? What would you recommend for them?
I would say you owe it to yourself and to your business to go and check out a meeting. If it's not right, if it's too crazy for you, if something rubs you wrong, come back on the other day, whether it's Tuesday or Friday. Come back on the other one that you missed, and check that one out too. But at least give it 2 or 3 times to check it out, see how you feel, and move forward from there. I know the first one's free and the second one you got to pay for, but you best be paying for it. It's worth it.
Come check it out one time for free. And I think we know that by talking to people know within the first time whether it's a good fit for them. And so they know right away. And the funny thing is, most people, when they come into the room, end up signing up. There are not very many people that actually leave without becoming a member. And so we're looking forward to that. So we're looking forward to people who are watching tonight to come and join us. If you haven't had a chance to come to an IgniteU meeting, We're there every Tuesday from 11:30 to 1, every Friday from 7:30 to 9 at the Great American Casino. Come and look Kern up. Kern will introduce you to a whole bunch of people. I promise you that. If you want to just reach out to Kern ahead of time and make plans to meet Kern there, I'm sure he'd love to meet you there. If you need quality automotive repair, I know a place, and it's called Kern's Complete Automotive Care. He's on Canyon Road in Puyallup, and his phone number is right there on the screen, 253-538-1441. Mr. Kern Dillard, I thank you for being here, my friend, taking the time out. I know you got a ton of stuff that you got going on. You could be fishing right now, for crying out loud.
I could be.
Yeah. Thank you for being here and allowing us to take a few minutes and interview you and showcase you with the world. And then we're going to see you on Friday morning, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you for doing what you do. It's really appreciated. It's been a blessing in my business and in my life too. Or good. You guys are awesome.
You've been a huge blessing to ours. We're looking forward to a continued relationship for many years to come. So we'll see you guys Friday morning. IgniteU, Kern Dillard. We're out of here. Thank you, brother.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.